You want to know what's holding you back from building better guitars? You. Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. Today's message is a little bit of a spiritual one, and a lot of people are going to be turned off by that, but I don't care. I'm going to be setting some necks. I've got a bunch of necks for some Challenger guitars that I need to set into the body, and so I'm going to glue these together while I'm talking to you guys. There's some people who won't watch just the message. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear me talk. They want to watch me do stuff. They want to get free stuff from me. And that's fine, but I don't give away all kinds of free stuff every single day because it's a business, right? So what I will give away is I will give away advice, and I will give away little things that I've learned. You know, if you've been to one of my workshops, I've probably said it to you. Everybody wants to learn the tricks of the trade. Nobody wants to learn the trade. All right, we're already kind of going down a rabbit hole here. So let's focus. So today, like I said, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to build better guitars, how to get over some hurdles. The most important distance in any guitar shop is the 6 inches between your ears. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to glue some necks in, and we're going to make sure that these guitars are looking cool. So it is the 6th of July. I'm supposed to be off today, but I had to do some stuff, and I'm going to do some stuff now. All right, I don't know why I told you guys that. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to make sure that all of our necks look good. And these necks are so tight that I feel good about it. I am going to measure every neck, though. Let me go get my measuring tool. All right, so I built this tool. It looks like a piece of alder with a dowel rod stuck in it. And the reason that I built it is so that I can check the height of my necks at my bridge. You see, I got the, all right, let me see if I can show you here. So I lay this on my fretboard on top of the frets, and it should touch where my bridge is. Now that's for using the bridge that I'm using, and in this case it's the Hipshot 6-string through. If you're using a Tune-o-matic, you want it to be a different length from the bottom of your stick to the bottom of your dowel. You might notice that I have another dowel here, and you might go, that might be what Matt uses for Tune-o-matics. It's not, but it could be. I haven't done it yet. I haven't modified it yet to work with Tune-o-matic. I could do it. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, there you go. There's the tip for you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put about a 50-cent piece worth of glue into these neck pockets. Okay, that's about, there we go. For those of you who are too young to remember what a 50-cent piece is, I don't know. You'll have to look it up. Sacagawea dollar? I don't know. I would imagine that people who don't remember what a 50-cent piece is don't use a lot of coins in general. Okay? All right. Anyway, so I like to get my glue spread out, and I like to come up the neck pocket, but I leave a little bit of the heel area dry. One, because I know for a fact that this glue is going to squeeze into that area, and two, I know for a fact that it's going to have less squeeze out on the back side, and the less squeeze out that I have to worry about cleaning up, the happier I'll be. Okay, my neck kind of scooched around a little bit in there. And I think it was because I got too much clamping pressure on my first clamp. I'm just going to snug that one down. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. Now I'm going to clamp down the tongue of my neck into the pickup pocket. It wants to move around too. This is the part of the video where somebody says, you should put salt in there. I'm not putting salt in anyone's neck joint. It's a dumb idea, okay? You can put salt in yours if you want. Okay. All right, I feel good. And I knew that I would. All right, looking good. I'm going to clean up this excess glue. I've got a little toothbrush here with a little bit of water. Every time I do this, people go, I clean that glue off after it's hardened with a chisel. I'm like, man, you're working too hard. If you cleaning something that is a liquid with a dry towel is considerably easier than cleaning something that is a hard chunk of glue with a with a sharpened pry bar. Okay, and these bodies and necks have all been sanded to 220. We're going to sand them to 400 after the necks are set in. But there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do that 3 more times, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to talk about why it's important to go through some trials and some heartache and to make mistakes and to get better, and how sometimes that's not torture, that's training, okay? And we're going to talk about some other stuff too. So we're going to get down to Matt's spiritual rap. Before we do, if I'm already losing you guys, again, I don't care. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm culturally obligated to tell you guys to do that because this is a YouTube video, okay? All right, that's looking good. So the other day I had, I get emails and YouTube comments from people all the time. And most of the time, they're really nice. And most of the time, the people who send me comments and send me emails are very, very kind. And I appreciate that. Every so often, though, I'll get, someone who wants to be foul-mouthed and kind of a stinker. One was, I really like your videos, but I don't like your guitars. They're ugly. Okay. Anyway, that one was particularly amusing to me because the guitar that I put a picture of was one that actually sold to a real customer. And I'm like, well, why on earth would I care what somebody thinks about a guitar of mine that somebody else thought so much of that they bought it? I just kind of put it out there to let you guys know that it was done. I thought that, people liked to see stuff, done, completed guitars. That's what people like to see. And a lot of you guys came to my aid there. And again, I appreciate that kind of thing. But I'm like, what an odd thing to say. Like, what does that person get from doing that? The other thing was I got another YouTube comment on my Sweet Truss Rod Jig video. And for those of you who have bought Matt's Sweet Truss Rod Jig, thank you very much. The sales have been quite a bit more enthusiastic than I had originally anticipated. And I I kind of got to the point where I'm like, whoa, I better take these down for a little bit until we can get some inventory. A lot of you guys bought these things, and I'm waiting to send them out to you because I don't have them yet. It's also hard to get boxes for some reason. Anyway, and here's the thing: I'm a guitar maker, not a, you know what I mean? I don't make a lot of parts. Anyway, so this guy said though in the video, if you guys remember that video from a couple of weeks ago, it was just basically letting you guys know that it was gonna be available. And if you wanted one, you could buy one. And if all you wanted was for me to give you, free information on how to use my truss rod jig, well, I wasn't going to give that away. That was going to be something that you had to buy. And someone had a real issue. They took umbrage with that. And they're like, oh, great, another thing where like I have to buy something. Monetizing, monetizing, everything has to be monetized now. And so I kind of got into it with this dude. And I'm like, after a couple back and forth emails, I'm like, look, I've given away more trade secrets than most on YouTube. And don't you think that at some point I should be able to be paid for what I do? And I'm like, do you work for nothing? And it got to the point where I'm like, look, man, as soon as you work for nothing, you can say something to me. But and the irony is, it probably was like a robot I was talking to. It was probably like a hater bot or something. Anyway, but what I'm getting at is you get these, whenever you do something artistic, whenever you do something that makes people uncomfortable, whenever you do something that somebody doesn't like, it's very, very easy to fall into this trap of, yeah, man, maybe if everybody hates what I do, I should stop doing it. And I'm here to tell you that it's hard to put that stuff out of your mind. It's hard to get past that part of your creative journey, and you got to do what you got to do things that you love because you love doing it, not because some guy on the internet does or doesn't like it. It's nice if you can. It's nice if you can make a living, even like me, a bad living making guitars, because I love making them. I really do, guys. I've said this so many times. It's not what I do. It's who I am. So let's talk about like growing and that spiritual side, the spiritual connection of doing this, and how isn't it funny that if you said, "Hey, I want to talk about how it makes me feel. I want to talk about how I get closer to something bigger than I am by doing this. I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want to watch a video about that." But if I made a guitar about how much I like pizza or how much I hate pizza or where the best place to get this kind of pizza is, everyone will want to chime in. As soon as you start to make a video, or as soon as you start talking about faith and why you are doing this and what you are supposed to be doing, everyone wants to tune out. We still going here? All right. Okay, so this idea of whatever it is that you do, and I don't care if it's building guitars or cooking barbecue or knitting scarves. I don't care. There will always be people who want you to fail. Notice I didn't say they don't want you to succeed. I said, and I meant, they want you to fail. They really, really do. And that's kind of the way I feel about this right now, and I've felt about it for many, many years. There are lots and lots of roadblocks in the way for people who are doing something that is that makes them whole, and doing something that brings them joy, and doing something that makes them feel like this is what they're supposed to be doing, okay? I'm no theologian, right? But I think about stuff like, I think about stuff like that a lot because it's important to me. That's who I am. That's what I do, and I want you guys to feel the same way that I do. Again, whether it's building instruments or playing instruments. Okay, so one of the things that I see people do all the time is they want to rush. Okay, and they want to rush because they want to show somebody something, or they want to post it on Facebook right away, or they want to post it on Instagram, or one of those other things. And I realize the irony of this. I'm making a video. I'm doing this stuff as I'm talking to you guys about it. But again, I think if I just came out and made a video where I talked about the why doing this is worthwhile and why it feeds your soul as well as contributes to your pocketbook. This, again, I recognize that that's what's going on here. Hold on. Okay. So again, I realize that this is me making a video about don't worry about what people in videos and social media say. But it's true, gang. You have to love this, and it doesn't always love you back. And if you get to that point where you're like, man, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, just imagine think of this as training, not as torture, not as tribulation, it is a trial, I guess, okay? But I like to think that one day I'm going to have to stand before God and say, this is the best that I can do, and I worked my hardest to get to this point. And I am hopeful that when I do that, it won't be like I'm wasting all this time trying to please somebody on Facebook who doesn't buy my guitars, or doesn't, trying to please somebody on YouTube because they did or didn't get something free out of a video. I know that when I stand at the end of it all, and we're all going to the same place, when I have to stand in front of my Creator and say, this is what I did with the finite time I had on this planet. I made these, and I could see myself getting better, and I could see the progress that I made, and there were some missteps, and I learned from those. In fact, and of course, as you guys know, you learn way more from your missteps than you do, your triumphs. So I faltered, and I foibled, and I goofed up, but I learned from it, and I kept going, and I kept doing it. I've got one more neck to set here. Let's see if I can figure out how to wrap this up and make this a somewhat lucid video. Again, I'm not a video maker. I'm a guitar maker, and I'm connected to the coolness of what I'm doing. So are you connected to the coolness of what it is that you're doing? Are you connected to the goodness of what you are doing? Or are you listening to guys who are being buttholes on the internet? Okay? I think that you are switched on to what's happening here, and I think you are coming from a place of creativity and goodness and light, and bringing yourself peace by doing something that gives you joy. And I know that this is going to be wasted on a lot of people, but if I don't say it to everybody, how am I going to know that the one or two people that actually do care hear it? Right? Okay, so you build guitars because, like Ira Glass said, you have good taste. But the first couple aren't very good. And and you just have to push through that, and you have to develop a large body of work. Okay, if at first you don't succeed, don't ever look at Matt's very first guitar that he ever built at Roberto Venn, right? I'm proud of that because that's the first guitar I ever built. And that's it. Okay, no sweat though. Come on, baby. So, what's holding you back besides these clamps? What's holding you back from being a better guitar builder? What's holding you back from being the best guitar builder you can be? And if you're like me and so much of your life is wrapped up in what you do, are you becoming the best person that you can be? Or are you just wasting your time? Are you wasting this finite resource of time that we have on this planet by goofing around, fiddling around with guitars, hoping that somebody on Facebook likes them? Or are you doing it because it brings you something higher? It takes you to a place that nothing else does. Whoops. Boy, you know when you're gluing in necks, you kind of gotta watch what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, does this bring you joy? Does it bring you peace? Does it connect you with the spiritual side of things? And I'm not trying to say that guitar building only is a metaphor for life. Whatever you're into is what you're into, and whatever you like to do, you like to read books, you like to go on hikes, you like to make pies. If you like to make pies and cupcakes, please send me some because I love to eat pies and cupcakes. I am a sweets junkie, probably to my detriment. Okay. Yeah, are you using the time that you have, the limited resources of time that you have, are you using those to do something that you love, or are you irritated by trolls on the internet? And I'm not saying it's easy to not be irritated by trolls on the internet, because it ain't. And Lord knows I have my share, and there are people who have even more than their share of trolls on the internet. You know what I mean? There's guys with more juice than I do that have to put up with a bunch of nincompoops on the internet. So if you're building guitars and people say that's not cool, keep doing it. If you're making videos and people say that they make fun of you or call you names or try to tell you you're doing it wrong, keep doing it. You get the most flack when you're over the target, right? So yeah, this is something that I love to do. I know that when my life is over, I can look back on this and I'll know that the guitar that I built in 1989 won't be as good as the guitar that I made in 2025. And if I get another 20 or 30 or 50 years, which I won't, I'm not middle-aged, right? I'm not going to live to be 110. I hope that I can look back and go, my guitars got better. And the more I got in touch with what I was doing, the more I got in touch with the spiritual side of it, how much better my guitars got. Okay, I realize this is a little bit of a departure video from what we normally do, which is me sitting around and banging frets in or doing whatever it is that I do for videos. But guys, I've got some new goals coming up, and I'm going to bring you along. Any one of those guys any one of you who wants to come along, I'm going to bring you along too. Okay? There's no script. I'm probably going to say a lot. I'm probably going to say I'm probably going to have to go look for stuff, and I'm going to edit as little of it out as I humanly possibly can to give you guys an idea of what I have to do when I'm here in the shop. Okay? So I look forward to your comments. I look forward to all that other stuff. If you want more stuff like this, I urge you to go over to our Patreon and check us out there. Patreon, there's a paywall. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It costs money to go to Patreon. In exchange for that, I like to build guitars with you guys. And I know I haven't done a video. For those of you who are on Patreon right now, we're going to get back into the SG build, and I've got some big plans for that. And the guy who's getting that guitar, I think he's going to really be excited about it. So, and I'm not going to give you any mustache tips. So dumb. Okay. All right, you guys. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Hope that everybody had a good Independence Day for those of you who live in the United States. For those of you who don't, hope you had a great 4th of July, even though you weren't in the United States. I don't know where I'm going with this. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Get in touch with your spiritual side. Okay? It's a cool thing to do, and it's a cool place to be, and I think once you do, you might even feel like there's a little bit of a weight pulled off your shoulders. Okay, everybody, see you next time. Oh, and this is your old Uncle Matt reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. You can give away whatever you want. Take care.